Before we even touch a single drawer or closet, there's something I want you to think about. Ask yourself this: how do you actually want to feel in your home? Do you want it to feel calm, light, easy to keep up with? Or maybe you want it to feel welcoming, where you can sit down and relax without seeing chores everywhere you look. It's such a simple question, but trust me, it changes everything. Because once you're clear on that, it's so much easier to make decisions about what stays and what goes. And then ask yourself, what really matters most to me here? Is it comfort, order, more space for people, or just less stress? Those two questions will guide you through every single step. Now, here's something that makes life a whole lot easier. Most of the mess in any home comes from just 5 places: trash, dishes, laundry, things that are simply out of place, and things that don't have a home yet. That's it. If you look around your rooms right now, I bet most of the clutter falls into one of those 5 buckets. It's not about blaming yourself or feeling bad. It's just a pattern. And once you see it, you can handle it much faster. So let's start with a few quick wins, because nothing keeps you motivated like instant progress. First, grab a big trash bag and go room by room. Don't overthink it. Don't stop to look through drawers. Just collect every bit of trash you see: wrappers, receipts, empty bottles, whatever. Don't take it outside yet. Just gather. You'll be amazed at how much lighter the house already feels when that's gone. Next, dishes. We all know how they multiply on counters and coffee tables. The trick here is not to wash them yet. Just gather them, put them all in the sink, or set them on the counter by the sink. Suddenly, your living room and dining room look better in minutes, and your kitchen will feel like the only place that actually needs attention. Then, laundry. Take one hamper and walk through every room. Scoop up anything dirty: socks behind chairs, towels in the bathroom, sweaters draped on couches. Don't even think about sorting or washing right now. Just collect. You've now dealt with 3 of the biggest sources of clutter, and the house is already starting to breathe again. This might sound funny, but when you do just those 3 quick wins, you build momentum. You look around and think, okay, this is possible. I can actually do this. And that feeling is gold. That's what keeps you moving forward when you tackle the bigger stuff. By the way, I'm curious, what part of your house tends to collect the most clutter? Is it your kitchen counter, your entryway, maybe the bedroom? Everyone has that one spot. And just so you know, if you're enjoying this kind of practical, no-nonsense advice, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It really helps keep the channel going, and I'll keep sharing more tips to make home feel easier to manage. Now, once you've cleared trash, dishes, and laundry, you'll notice the last 2 clutter sources standing out more clearly: things out of place and things that don't have a home yet. Out of place stuff is easy, like the TV remote hiding under the blanket, or the scissors that somehow ended up in the bathroom. You just put them back where they belong. But the tricky one, that's the no home yet category. Those are the items that seem to float around endlessly. The extra phone charger, the pack of batteries, the notebook you swear you'll use one day. Until those get assigned a proper spot, they'll keep wandering and driving you nuts. And honestly, that's the kind of clutter that tires us out the most. Because every time you see it, you're making a tiny decision in your head. Where should this go? Should I keep it? Should I move it? Over and over again. And that's why decluttering feels exhausting sometimes. It's not physical, it's mental. But don't worry, there's a way to deal with it without burning out. Before we go deeper into that, just for fun, where are you watching this from? I love seeing all the different places people tune in from. It's just a little way to connect and keep the conversation going. So here's the plan. Now that you've knocked out those first 3 wins and you're aware of the 5 big sources of clutter, you're ready to move into the real work. This is where we stop chasing clutter room by room and start working smarter. by Caregivers. And trust me, once you get the hang of that, everything starts making sense. Here's the thing. Working room by room sounds logical, but it actually makes the whole process drag on. You get stuck switching gears. One moment you're staring at clothes in the closet, then books on the shelf, then papers on the desk. Your brain gets tired of making different decisions in different contexts, and that's where people quit. The smarter way, declutter by category. You focus on one type of thing at a time, all gathered together no matter what room it's in. That way, you see the full picture and you don't have to second guess yourself. Start with clothes. They're usually the easiest because you can tell pretty quickly what you wear and what you don't. And here's a little trick. Don't begin with the messy laundry pile. Start with the clean items like coats and jackets. Pull them all out. Lay them on the bed or a table so you can see them side by side. When you line them up, it's a lot easier to notice, oh, I have 4 nearly identical black jackets, or that sweater hasn't left the hanger in years. Now, here's where the 3-box method comes in. It's simple but powerful. Box 1 is toss or donate. Box 2 is unsure. And box 3 is keep, but no place yet. Everything you pick up has to go into one of those. Don't just shove things back into the closet. Force yourself to decide. And if you're wondering, well, how do I know if I should keep it? I've got some easy questions for you. Would you actually pay money to buy this again? If the answer is no, that's telling you something. Or here's another one. If this item burned in a fire, would you honestly be upset? If not, you don't care as much as you think you do. And finally, when did you last use it? If you can't remember, or if it's been years, it's time to let it go. The unsure box is your safety net. It's for things you just can't decide on right now. Don't stress. Don't waste hours agonize. Put it in the unsure box, tape it up, write the date, and tuck it somewhere out of sight. If you don't go looking for those items in 3 to 6 months, you already have your answer. They can go. Once you finish clothes, move on to books. And I know books are emotional. They hold memories, knowledge, even guilt sometimes, like those novels you swore you'd read but never opened. The same rules apply here, though. Ask yourself, would I pay to buy this again? Does it still serve me? And if not, let it bless someone else's shelf. Libraries, thrift shops, even local community centers often welcome them. After books, it's time for papers. And yes, this one's usually the most draining. Piles of old bills, warranties for appliances you don't even own anymore, school papers, random notes. The best approach is the same. Gather all the paper from every corner of the house and deal with it in one go. Don't bounce between stacks in different rooms. Keep your shredder or recycle bin handy. And remember, most of what we keep just in case never gets touched again. Then come the miscellaneous items, which is really just a polite word for all the other random stuff. That could be kitchen gadgets, decorations, craft supplies, or board games. Go through them with the same 3-box system, and by now you'll notice you're getting faster at making decisions. Finally, leave sentimental items for last. That's photos, heirlooms, gifts you feel guilty about not loving. Those take the most emotional energy, and if you start with them, you'll stall out. By the time you reach them, you'll already be in a clearer, more confident headspace. And honestly, you'll realize that memories don't live in the object itself. They live in you. By the way, which category do you think would be the hardest for you? Clothes, books, papers, or sentimental stuff? Everyone has a weak spot. For me, it was definitely books. I used to keep shelves and shelves just because I liked the look of them, even though I never touched half of them. Now, when you're going through all these categories, here's a tip that'll save your sanity. Don't pressure yourself to finish everything in one day. Break it into bite-sized chunks. Instead of I'll declutter the whole closet, say I'll do just my socks today, or I'll go through jackets this afternoon. It makes the process feel more doable, and you'll still see progress. And remember, you're not just tossing things out, you're creating space for what you actually use and enjoy. And in many cases, what you let go of can help someone else. Clothes, books, dinnerware, games, there's always someone out there who'd be thrilled to have them. So instead of cluttering your shelves, they can go serve a real purpose elsewhere. It's funny how once you get into this rhythm, you actually start looking forward to making decisions. It feels good to lighten the load. And when you notice yourself hesitating, that unsure box is right there to back you up. No guilt, no pressure, no panic decisions. Once you've worked through those main categories, clothes, books, papers, the random bits and sentimental things, you'll notice the open areas of your home look a lot better. But here's the thing. Clothes storage often hides just as much clutter. Drawers, cupboards, pantries, they're sneaky. You shut the door and it feels handled. But the truth is, it's all still sitting there waiting. And let's be honest, nothing's more frustrating than trying to cook dinner and having 5 different baking pans fall out of a cabinet. The good news is, the same 3-box method works here too. Don't overwhelm yourself by emptying your entire kitchen at once. Pick one area, maybe a single cupboard, and take everything out. Spread it where you can see it, and then go through the same routine. Keep, toss, donate, or unsure. It's amazing how quickly you realize you've been holding on to 3 can openers when you only ever use one. Pantries are another big one. Food has a way of hiding in the back until it's years past its expiration date. Pull it all out, group like with like, cans with cans, pasta with pasta, and check dates. If you're not going to use it, someone else might. Food banks will often take unopened, non-perishables, so it doesn't have to go to waste. And once the extras are cleared, suddenly your pantry feels like a store where you can actually see your inventory. Drawers deserve special attention too. They're little traps for clutter because it's so easy to shove things in. Just for now. The problem is, just for now becomes permanent. Start small. Maybe today it's the junk drawer in the kitchen. Dump it out and you'll probably laugh at half the things in there. Dead batteries, rubber bands, instruction manuals for gadgets you don't even own anymore. Decide what's useful and give everything else the boot. Now let's circle back to something important. Those items you kept earlier that had no home yet. You know, the wandering chargers, the batteries, the notebooks. This is where they finally get a spot. Once your storage areas are clear, you'll have the space to assign them a proper home. And that's the whole point. Everything needs a place where it belongs. Without that, things just drift around forever. One helpful approach is to think in zones. If you always use batteries in the living room for remotes, store them in a little container right there, not buried in a random drawer in the garage. If you use scissors in the kitchen, keep a pair in the kitchen instead of making yourself walk to another room. The more you line up storage with how you actually live, the easier it is to keep clutter from coming back. And don't feel like you have to buy fancy organizers right away. Honestly, simple cardboard boxes or jars can work until you're sure what setup you like. No need to run out and spend a fortune just to sort things. Over time, you'll see where a drawer divider or a set of acrylic bins might help, but start with what you already have. I'll tell you, once you get through those hidden spaces, cupboards, drawers, pantry, you'll feel like the weight has truly lifted, because then you're not just looking at a tidy surface. You know the insides are in order too. And that's a huge relief. By the way, if you're finding these tips useful and you haven't already, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. It's a small thing, but it keeps this channel alive and it lets me keep sharing more practical ways to make home life easier. Here's another little thought. When you're clearing out these hidden spots, don't try to do it on autopilot. Notice what you're actually keeping. If you've got 6 sets of measuring cups, what does that say? Maybe it's just that they were buried and you forgot you already had them. That's why decluttering these spaces saves money. You stop rebuying things you already own, and once you've cleared the extras, you'll be ready for the fun part, really organizing so that everything feels intentional, not just shoved into the nearest gap. That's where we start getting into smart storage habits and systems that actually stick. Now comes the part that really makes all your effort worthwhile. Setting up simple systems so things stay organized without constant battles. Decluttering clears the space, but organizing is what makes your home feel smooth and easy to live in. One of the best tools for this is compartmentalizing. Big drawers or bins are like black holes. Stuff disappears inside and you end up digging forever. But if you break them down into smaller sections, suddenly everything has a place. Adjustable dividers, clear acrylic trays, even repurposed boxes can turn one messy drawer into neat little compartments. Instead of rummaging through a pile of pens, scissors, batteries, and tape, you'll just reach for the exact section you need. Here's another trick. Think about active zones and passive zones in your house. Active zones are where your everyday items should live. Things you grab constantly like coffee mugs, keys, or the TV remote. Passive zones are for the stuff you rarely need, like holiday decorations or seasonal clothes. The mistake people make is storing everyday items in passive zones, like keeping your favorite skillet at the back of a cupboard. When you match storage to activity, you cut clutter in half without even realizing it. Let's talk about habits too, because this is where the long-term magic happens. Without new habits, clutter sneaks back in no matter how much you organize. Start small. Create a landing surface right by your door, a bowl or a basket for keys, mail, sunglasses. Suddenly, those things stop wandering all over the house. Keep a donation basket somewhere easy to access. Whenever you spot something you don't use, toss it in. When the basket's full, out it goes. Laundry can be easier too. Keep a basket in your laundry area just for clean clothes that haven't been folded yet. That way, they don't end up draped over every chair in the house. And one of my personal favorites, do a quick scan and reset of a room before you leave it. It only takes a minute to straighten pillows, put the remote back, or pick up a glass, but it saves you hours of cleaning later. Seasonal swaps are another game changer. Instead of stuffing your closet with clothes for all weather, keep only what you're wearing now. Store the rest in bins under the bed or up in the attic, then rotate them when the season changes. It's like getting a fresh, uncluttered closet twice a year. And I know time is always a hurdle. That's why breaking projects into bite-sized sessions works so well. You don't need a whole weekend marathon. Treat decluttering like a mini hobby. Maybe set aside an hour on Saturday for one small category, like just tackling socks or going through the pantry spices. The progress adds up quickly without feeling overwhelming. Once you've set up these little systems, you'll notice something surprising. Maintaining order starts to feel natural, almost automatic. You'll walk into a room and see everything in its place, and instead of sighing about the mess, you'll actually relax. That's the real reward. Not just a tidy home, but a home that feels calm and easy to enjoy. And let me just say this, you don't have to be perfect. Life brings in new stuff all the time. The key is staying consistent with those small habits. The quick reset, the donation basket, the landing spot by the door. Those are what keep the clutter from piling up again. At the end of the day, your home should work for you, not the other way around. And with these systems, it really can. A little structure, a few smart spots for things, and a couple of daily habits. That's all it takes to keep things running smoothly.